guys so much for joining me
Hello.
today.
Oh, yeah.
I know we met very briefly backstage, but y'all have
Wait,
such
who are you?
wonderful. It's me.
Just
It's
kidding.
Witchy. Y'all have wonderful chemistry together, and I don't think y'all record together, which is crazy. You actually like your coworkers. Seems like such a wonderful cast to be a part of at Phineas
That's
and
why we're
Ferb.
called actors, because we're
Acting.
We have
We
a
actually
delightful
hate
time
each other.
together.
These two people sitting next to me. I could tell you stories.
The
Well,
worst.
To get started, please, I know that everybody has a different story with starting with Phineas and Ferb. Some people have been there longer than others. Some started when y'all were very teenagers. Can y'all tell me about getting started with Phineas and Ferb, how you felt, all sorts of things?
Yeah, I was 13 years old, and I was working on a sitcom at the time called Everybody Hates Chris, and yeah, it was a super fun show.
Oh, you've heard of it.
Yeah. And I just, had started doing some voice acting, and people had heard just my natural speaking voice at the time and wanted me to come in and read for Phineas. And I read doing Phineas's voice instead, and they ended up liking that a lot. And it was a really long process. Like 6 months went by from my first audition to when I actually booked it. And I was living in Florida at the time because that's where I grew up. And I ended up doing the pilot from Disney World. At the time, it was MGM Studios, but now it's Hollywood Studios. And they had a really big like ADR and Foley stage back there that they would do all of the audio for like the Christmas parades and stuff there. And so I recorded from there, and I actually recorded a lot of the first season from right behind Disney World.
Casually working at Disney World?
I know, it was really, really cool. And yeah, now I think that those studios are all gone back there, but that was kind of my introduction to being on Phineas and Ferb. And yeah, I was 13 when we did the pilot, and now I'm 31, and we're doing new seasons of the show right now. It's crazy, yeah.
The longest 104 days ever.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's like it's the COVID calculation. Yeah. Because that was supposed to be 2 weeks, if we remember. They got the timeline messed up. Yeah. And I consider myself like the luckiest Phineas and Ferb fan in the world because I got to get involved in 2017, and not only do I get to be one of the title characters, I get to obviously we were joking a little bit at the start, but like I got to get some of my best friends in the world from being involved in the show, and so it's just it's a real gift.
I kind of just was Vanessa. I also started acting when I was a kid, but quit in my teen years because I wasn't loving the on-camera audition life. And my dad was a writer on the original run of the show, and he would always be tracking the song demos that he wrote, and he'd be like, "Hey, Liv, can you come sing this song and put background vocals on this demo?" And I'd always be like, "Ugh, whatever, Dad." And because they heard my voice singing on the show.
They heard you say, "Ugh, whatever, Dad."
She's
they
in
were like,
character already.
That's the girl. And yeah, and the rest was history.
That's awesome. It's very cool. You all have like different experiences starting. It's cool that you worked at Disney World at 13. It was like so bright, probably.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I mean, I'm a huge Disney fan outside of just working on a TV show for them. So being able to, be right behind like Rock and Roller Coaster while I would record was very cool as a kid, and it's still cool. I what's so cool about doing a show like this is like, we even went to they did like a Disney Channel night at Disneyland recently, and we went and got to see, they were doing like a Phineas and Ferb dance party, and so they had like our walk around characters doing like a whole thing. And
If you saw that video of Perry dancing to Gasolina,
yeah,
that was that night.
Perry
Yeah.
he can get down.
yeah. So a ton of people were, what's it called? Disney bounding, right? Because it's not cosplaying
Yeah.
when you're at Disney. They were like Disney bounding as our characters and stuff, and it's really special.
My first job, actually, outside of high school, was working at Disney World at the parks. And
Oh,
the
in Orlando?
first costume I ever put on was Ferb.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And I was like,
Hey.
it was a
That's
good time.
hilarious.
Yeah, it was
Oh my
fun.
God.
But the Disney Channel night seemed awesome. Did anyone recognize y'all there? I know voice actors. It's
Yeah.
So much.
yeah,
It was
that's
so fun
cool.
to walk around seeing people recognize him because they know his face so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
'Cause they're terrified. They're terrified
yeah,
of it.
well, you know, there
It
is
haunts
that
them.
like look of fear
Yeah,
that
when
comes
they
into
see
their
me.
eyes. But definitely a lot of people, and then also Dan was there, so
Yeah,
people
everybody
running into
knows
Dan
Dan
and
from
all of
Dan's very
TikTok.
recognizable, yeah.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes sense.
And he was also like, whenever he'd see someone dressed as Dr. Doofenshmirtz, would run up to them and do like Dr. Doofenshmirtz's
Yeah.
voice. So like it
Aw,
was
that's
pretty hard not to
wonderful.
notice that like 6'3" man running around doing that.
Yeah.
I just love how Dan, like, he gets so giddy and filled with joy. Every person he sees talking about Phineas and Ferb dressed up, like, he just, it lights him up the same way as if it was the first time he saw it.
Because some people don't necessarily want to be recognized outside. So I think that that's awesome that he would go there and be like, "You're me," you know? And I would think that that attributes to how successful Phineas and Ferb is as a show. I think it's really obvious that y'all love the show and love being
Absolutely.
a part of it. Yeah. By the way, everyone, you're welcome to go ahead and start lining up for questions. I'm going to ask a couple more, and then we'll open it up to audience questions. There's a mic right over there. My next question is, I know that y'all just told us a wonderful memory about working with Phineas and Ferb. What's your favorite memory, either working with your cast members or meeting fans? Something that you've taken and been like, whoa, I'm a part of the big thing.
They've heard me tell this story before, but we were in Columbus actually at an ANIMATE convention, and Vince and I were there, and there was this family that came up, and there were two sons who were nonverbal autistic, and one of them was in his phone, and the mom is just like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Would you mind doing the voices for them? Because they don't know who you are otherwise." And so we're like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely. I do a little bit of Ferb," and he starts going into Phineas, and this kid like looks up from his phone and walks up to Vince and like grabs his face, and the mom is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and of course he's super gracious. He's like, "No, it's fine." Continues to talk to him, and then the kid starts talking to Vince, and I had to get up and walk away from my table. To me, that is absolutely one of my favorite memories. Like, I have this little tiny Kodak photo printer at home, and I have a little small photo album. That family is in that album.
That's awesome.
So top that, Olivia.
It can also be a funny moment, too.
No, there's nothing
no
better
guidelines.
than that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many amazing experiences getting to meet people at conventions and things like that, but I'll just be pretentious and say joining the writing staff has been really rewarding, and I'm just learning so much about animation in general.
She
and it's been a
finally
lot of
learned the
fun.
alphabet, too. They taught her the alphabet.
Yeah, we've recorded some of Olivia's episodes too. They're really, really great.
Really good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's super exciting.
Yeah, and I would just say my favorite part about it has been seeing how much the show is meant to now like generations of people and people who are, you know, I'm 31 and there are people who are, you know, the same age as me who are showing it to their kids because they grew up with it and now they're showing it to their children, and that's really, really cool. Like, I have a niece who is now going to be able to be the right age to watch the new seasons of the show when it's coming out, and that's really exciting. And being a part of something that means a lot to different groups of families is really cool.
Yeah, that's very special.
You're
I
part of a
did
couple
it,
things that like really mean a lot to people, though, right?
What?
You're part of a couple things that like really mean a lot to people.
Oh, now
right?
you're wearing the shirt. Now he's got this famous in Brazil shirt.
No.
Yeah, that your friends.
I'm a little famous in
little
Brazil.
famous in Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
I
don't
bought
know
you
how
a
I
shirt.
didn't know you were gonna do this all day.
Well, you have to tell us the story behind it.
Yeah. What happened with it? Why are you wearing that shirt, David?
Well, I don't know if you guys know, but Vince was on this other show that we talked about. Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah.
It is huge in Brazil, and he let me know a while back that
That's just like part of my lore. Like, I feel like people like right. Just when we started being friends, it was like, oh yeah, he's famous in Brazil.
he's famous in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Because like he's always got Portuguese in his comments. I was like, what
Yeah,
is
I
this?
always-
When are you
I
coming
asked,
to
I was like, why
Brazil?
are
When are
all
you
of
Yeah,
your
yeah, come to
Instagram
Brazil, yeah, for
comments
sure.
in Portuguese? And you're like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, and like he's always been super celebratory about it, though. He's like, it's always looked a little bit surprising to you too. Like he's like, I'm like famous in Brazil.
Yeah, it's-
I did this show, and my face is associated, and I played this character, Greg, and it's really cool. Like they really love it. And so we were at a convention a couple of months ago, and because we like to rib each other a little bit, I got him a shirt that I found on Amazon that just said, "I'm famous in Brazil" in Portuguese. And suddenly, we take a picture of it on the floor, and what did it take? A day?
Yeah,
And you
something like that.
got over 1 million followers,
Yeah.
and in 2 weeks, it was up to 5. And in 3 weeks, it was like 6.6 million. Like,
It was
he is
very
now
funny. Yeah.
Extremely
1,000%
Before I
Like
was just
Instagram
like famous,
famous.
but now I'm very famous. in
Possibly
Brazil.
running for president of
Yeah.
Brazil soon.
And so I couldn't miss the opportunity
So
to
now
give
he's got-
him
yeah.
a bit of a hard time
Love
right
that.
now.
I think you need to push the animators to put that shirt on on Phineas.
On Phineas?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just break the internet. Break the internet. That's so fun. I didn't know you were gonna do that. Yeah.
Wear it proudly. Wear it proudly. Well,
Put it away. I'm gonna put us back on track.
before we open up for audience questions, I'm going to ask one more question that we get every time with voice actors. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. It is, if you have any advice for people that want to voice act, we'll go ahead and get that one out of the way.
I'm sorry, I was still thinking about Brazil.
Yeah, sure.
What advice would you give to people who want to be famous in Brazil? Is what she asked. No. What?
One,
Work really
acquire
hard. Do a
shirt.
great job on a sitcom.
Yeah,
when
be
you're
on a- be
13,
a
you
very- on a
cannot do
very-
it anytime
On
later.
a very funny sitcom.
Be a part of another Emmy nominated show.
Yeah. No. She was asking advice to young like performers or anybody who wants to get involved in voice acting.
Oh, well, our good pal D. Bradley Baker has a great website that can tell you way more than we could. It's called iwannabeavoiceactor.com, and it has really great tools of how to get into the industry. And
Well, and still one of my favorite times I've ever heard him talk about it. I was doing a clinic with him at the SAG-AFTRA Foundation in Los Angeles. And he's talking in the room and he goes, "Okay, so I have this website. It's called iwantobeavoiceactor.com. And if you can't remember that, no, you don't." And I was like, that is
that tracks.
a really solid way to explain that.
That's perfect. And honestly, really spelled out. So it's like,
Yeah.
you want to do it? Go do it.
The other thing I'll add is one of my favorite things that I pulled from Talkin' Tunes podcast, which Rob Paulson hosted. And I can't remember if it was, he's great. I can't remember if it was him or one of his guests, but it's the notion that it is small v, lowercase v for voice, uppercase, really, really big A for acting. Focus on being a good actor. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares if you can do this and you can't act. It doesn't matter because it's whatever. But if you can do that and suddenly he's also got a personality, then they care.
Because we were just saying this yesterday of like, you could do a voice, but you can't necessarily have the soul of the character. And so I think that's what people fall in love with on the show.
Agreed. And y'all really convey emotion without having your face be able to convey the emotion and feeling at the time, too. And you do a great job on the show.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, we'll go ahead and start with audience questions. You can go ahead and introduce your name and ask your question.
My name is Amma. Icon. Okay. My name is Amma. I represent your self-identified neurospicy older members. I'm 40 and still a huge fan. Phineas is my comfort character.
Oh,
But
thank you.
there's every episode has a new song, and I love that. But I still have my favorites. So what are your favorites, or one that means a lot to you for
Yeah.
a particular reason?
My favorite song that we've ever done on the show is "Summer Belongs to You." That's a song that me and Ashley sing together, and I love that song. I think it's super catchy and really, really good. I have a lot of other ones that I love. Like, I feel super lucky that they let me sing a lot of the songs on the show. But that's mine. What about you guys?
I'm kind of partial to "We're Back" because I got to actually let Ferb sing, and I know it was sort of like a recitative kind of singing, but usually they have Ferb done by Danny Jacobs or even I think Dan at some point did some Ferb. But to be able to do that and and maintain the Ferb voice through the singing. That's really cool. But then, as far as like just musical joy, Ain't Got Rhythm for some reason just hits something in me. Yeah, like it something in that meter, something in that beat. I'm just like, this is it.
I have two. My favorite that I haven't sung in the show is "Those Boys Are Evil." It's just so good. And my favorite that I sang myself was "Not So Bad a Dad." I think it's really, really sweet. Vanessa song.
Oh, and what is the one that Doof sings with himself in Across the Second Dimension? A Brand New Best Friend. Coming at you Fridays. What are we doing, a sitcom? Like, I just think that that's a really funny little bit as well.
I think that some of the new songs that we've been working on in the new season is going to be a lot of new favorites for people. I'm really excited. Oh no. Can't do that.
And then you see the red dot appear.
It's Mickey with a sniper rifle.
It's Mickey.
No.
Oh boy.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was like, he's about to say, "Oh boy."
He's about to do that.
Keep your mouth shut.
Great
And
question.
now I'm fired.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Rachel. And sort of going on the favorites track, there have been a lot of really cool inventions and things built on the show. So I'm wondering if you have a favorite, either that Phineas and Ferb made or that Doofenshmirtz made.
It's a backyard hodgepodge, that one, where it's just they slap everything possible, like everything but
Yeah.
the kitchen sink on it. I just can tell that they ran out of ideas, and they're like, what if they did everything?
As a kid who was a huge Power Rangers fan, I loved the Treehouse mechs because they were a lot like the Megazords. And then as far as Doof goes, I'm kind of partial to the Chicken Replacinator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really fun.
Something so stupid that has so much power.
It was
to
absolutely
save the universe.
the Deus Ex Machina of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to be able to have a backyard beach. I think that'd be pretty cool because when I was growing up in Florida, it was really easy to get to the beach, and in Los Angeles, it's really difficult to get to the beach.
About 3 hours difficult.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
and it breaks my heart. So yeah, backyard beach would make my life just so easy. I'd be so tan. You don't
Famous beach bum,
even, you don't
Vincent
even, yeah,
Martella.
you don't even know.
Thank
You don't have $10 million for a beachfront property in
No,
Malibu?
I don't. I don't
Why don't
have
you go
that.
hang
I
out
mean,
with Greg
sand is
Sykes,
like
bro.
$5 at Home Depot.
You know,
you can have
I could
sand
just
in
start
a dream.
putting sand in my apartment in Valley Village.
There it is.
I'm gonna put it in the backseat of your car.
Yeah, yeah.
Backseat beach. Backseat beach.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Andrew, and my two questions were already taken up. So, which of the crossover episodes did you like doing the most?
Ooh, Star Wars. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's I think they did such a great job with that episode.
Yeah, I wish that they sold like toys of the Phineas and Ferb characters in the Star Wars outfits because I love them so much. And Ross, who's out there on the floor right now, he played Han Solo for us because he does like the best Harrison Ford impression. And
It's a shame that guy's
He
not
does
talented, though. I think we're
Yeah.
gonna have to start up a GoFundMe.
he does. Yeah.
Every impression on the planet.
And so that's when I first met him, and he's a wonderful guy. So it was cool working with him on that.
I really wish we did one for every episode
Oh,
of
oh,
Star Wars
Oh, yeah,
episodes.
yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
sorry, I was like a
Like,
crossover.
you want every episode to be a crossover?
Yeah, I
think
wish
we'll
we
run
did
out of
too. I wish we did like an
material.
Empire Strikes Back one. Yeah, maybe in the future. Probably not.
That would be really cool.
Probably not.
So you-
There's no way Lucasfilm would let us anymore. I don't think.
I mean, doesn't Disney own it?
They do, but I imagine that there's some sort of canon reason why we probably can't. But
Mm.
what do I know?
Dave Filoni comes with the other red dot.
You heard it here first. Email info@disneymerch.com.
Yeah.
Request Phineas and Ferb Star Wars merch.
Yeah.
Get it done.
All right. I'm Sam, and my question is actually for Olivia. I heard a while ago that you were going to start writing on the new seasons, and you mentioned it earlier, and I was wondering what it was like learning that you were actually going to be doing that, what the process was, how that went for you. Just a little bit about that.
It was huge that Dan and Swampy trusted me to come on. You know, they've known me since I was a baby. Actually, our our families have been
That
friends
baby?
for yeah, for years. Yeah, voice acting. I'm throwing my voice. Over
Wow.
Yeah.
She's good.
Like Dan, the first time he saw me driving, he was like, "You can drive." I'm like, "I'm 30, Dan." He's like, "It's just weird, though." He's like, "I see you as my other kid." But you know, it was just really, really exciting that they trusted me to come on. And again, like, I am learning so much about the entire animation process through this. Like, I would love to be doing what Dan and Swampy do when I'm older, and you know, running my own series and things like that. So it's just, it's
And she's
incredible.
gonna hire us. Yeah, just us and only us.
Yeah, it's been very, very rewarding, and it's just cool to write for your own character. Like, just having some control over, you know, what she's getting up to in this new season is really fun.
Thank you so
Yeah, I want to say that there was an episode where you just like wrote yourself one line, right? Where she was like, this episode needs like a rewrite. What if like I was in it for one line?
That's kind of an ongoing joke now. Like, even if Vanessa's not in the episode at all, like, we have a couple different stages of, we start with a premise, and then we go to outline, and then we go to script. And so in the premises, everyone just kind of now writes in, and for some reason, Vanessa's there.
She just happens to be there.
And I'm like, thanks.
I'm sorry, but you're trying to steal my thunder.
Yeah.
I'm the one-line an episode guy.
Whatever.
Hello, my name is Spencer, and I have a question for each of you. What is your favorite episode?
You have a lot to choose from.
I did 23andMe a little while ago and found out I'm half Christmas elf, and so the the Christmas episode where they make Santa a spa and Buford keeps calling it a clubhouse, that one I really, really dig. 'Cause it's Santa.
Mine's really random. When Candace gets turned into a fly, and then she meets a fly with a human head who got like hit, and it's actually my dad's face that's on it. And just watching that, I was like, what the heck? Like, just the jokes that these people come up with, they're so ridiculous. I was cracking up for like 10, I had to pause the episode because I was cracking up for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I really like the Dude, We're Getting the Band Back Together episode where Love Handle is introduced, and we get to do Ain't Got Rhythm and a bunch of other fun musical, scenes in that one. I like that episode a lot, and I got to sing with Steve Zahn, and that's cool.
My favorite episode was when Candace got Phineas and Ferb. Like,
Oh, when she caught us and we went to like boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Snitch.
I know.
Clancy Brown did the drill instructor, right?
He usually does. Yeah.
Yeah. He was also Santa, I think.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Drill instructor Santa. Both. 2 jobs. Great question. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Wesley, and my question is, what is your favorite episode to voice act?
To voice act.
Specifically to voice act. We. Never mind, I can't say that. Just because I was gonna spoil something. I was like, I can't. Yeah, I can't say that.
The new one.
Yeah, it was something fun in the new ones. I think also someone else should answer.
You've done so much. Like,
Yeah.
they must all kind of just melt together sometimes.
Sometimes, but I'm just trying to think of one that specifically had me do something vocally fun that I'm not usually doing. That's why I couldn't talk about something.
Are you talking about my episode?
I am talking about an episode you wrote, yeah. But there is, in Summer Belongs to You, the like hour-long special we did, I do get to yell at Candace very angrily. And so that was, yeah, I yell at her to get on a tricycle. And
I love when Phineas gets spicy.
I know, every
He
so
gets
often
so
Phineas
sassy.
gets cops an attitude. And it's pretty rare, so that's high on the list for me.
I really appreciated doing the film, the Candace Against the Universe, because they let me do other things as well. So I got to do the Ferb voice, and then I got to do like this stupid bit that I love where this spider pops up, and I just go,
Roar! I'm a scary spider. Roar!
it's like the worst Jerry Lewis you ever heard. But they let me do that, and like, good morning, this is Wakey Wakey Feebla Oot, and this is your host. You know, so that announcer stuff. I love anytime they throw me extra stuff to do, because I love being the solution to a
And
problem.
he loves
that way.
money.
Oh.
So I just love when they give me more things.
Yeah, actually, I was talking about donuts. Just
Oh,
donuts.
okay.
I have to agree, Candace Against the Universe. I was written out of the first movie Across the Second Dimension.
It's messed up. It's messed up.
Now you hold the power, though.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was like 15 minutes too long, and the only like storyline to scrap that made any sense was mine. So I was really, really excited that Candace goes on her adventure with Vanessa, which was also kind of random. They were just like, she just needs someone to like talk to, so they picked Vanessa. But
What was your storyline in the second dimension? Can you talk about that? Are you allowed to?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Never
I
mind.
probably shouldn't.
Sorry, just keep going.
But it was also interesting to record that during the pandemic in lockdown. I did my whole part, which I did from my closet, which was a fun time.
Do y'all have any neighbors that were like weirded out about things that you were yelling in your closet during the pandemic?
1,000%. Like
My neighbors are used to it.
yeah, like we
I have
do
a
all
booth.
of our auditions from home, and the thing that my old next door neighbors probably heard me doing, they're just like, this lady is crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad.
That's LA.
I'm glad no one had like during COVID had to like, no one was really seeing how insane my house looked with like trying to soundproof, because I was living in New York too at the time. Very difficult to soundproof
Makes sense.
a Manhattan apartment.
Yeah.
And so I just looked like I like killed people in there. Like it looked like I was like a
A set
serial
of
killer.
Dexter.
Yeah, it looked,
Blankets
yeah,
all over
it
the
looked yeah, it
wall.
looked really creepy in there, and I was like, yeah, this is not a great look.
You have the studio back now. So.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Thank you. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Clara.
Clara?
Someone help
There we go.
Clara.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Clara. What's your question?
My question is, do you guys ever try to steal other people's lines?
No, but I'm gonna
good-hearted
start.
That's a
Yeah.
very Wednesday Adams question,
It
I
is,
would
yeah.
say.
No, I don't think we ever try to steal each other's lines.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Just that sounds
imitate each
wrong.
other's lines, but
Yeah,
probably
I get jealous sometimes of like Doofenshmirtz's lines,
Mm.
because he gets to like talk about his his traumatic childhood and weird inventions in a very funny way, and so I'm jealous sometimes, but I never get to steal them.
Thank you, Clara.
Where's
Did like that
Carrie?
question.
Yeah.
though.
Me too, yeah.
Too. Thank
we tend to
you.
stick to the script. Yes.
Hi there. What's your name?
October.
Hi, October. What's your question?
I was wondering what was your favorite line that you said throughout the whole entire show? Like, not the new seasons. Don't spoil anything. Don't get in trouble. I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah. But what was your favorite line that you have said like ever for the show?
I liked getting to do the DEI jingle myself of like picking up books from my dad's house, because I just love, like, my favorite thing on the internet is like the compilation of all of the different versions of that they've done.
I was partial to when the boys appear on the Milo Murphy's crossover, and it starts with the, now it's time to whack some weeds. And then he says, gee, you're chatty today. And the response of going, oh, I'm sorry, did you want to say that? It's just that it's been a long time. Like, calling out that kind of meta thing. Pretty great.
So in the show, Phineas was trying to steal his line.
Oh my
There
god.
it is. Call back.
Yeah, mine's probably yelling at Candace to get on the trike. Yeah.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hello, I'm Caleb,
Hi.
and I have a little bit of a serious question. Since Phineas and Ferb is in the workings right now, what other shows are you going to be doing?
Well, I don't think any of us can talk about what we're going to be doing. We can talk about recent things that we've done.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I was really stoked. X-Men '97 just came out.
You're a Banshee?
I was Banshee and Mojo and
Leech, Magneto will save us.
sorry to anybody who's seen it. And
Who else?
Gladiator.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't forget
Gladiator,
Gladiator.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Marvel Superman.
It's a great show.
Yeah. So that I just had a show come out called TP Bond on Netflix, which is an anime, and a movie called My Oni Girl, also an anime.
Yeah, I.
Kim Possible is here.
Oh my God.
And
What's
she
the
didn't say
sitch?
hi.
The only thing I think I can talk about that more of is coming out of that has recently come out is I'm doing more episodes of the Chibiverse for Disney, and so like that, you know, like young kids show. But I'm doing something on Paramount Plus, animation-wise, that I can't talk about yet. Yeah, it's like an adult cartoon though, like an older cartoon.
And very excited for there's a new season coming out of Fiona and Cake, the Adventure Time
Woo!
spin-off. I don't
Oh
know if I'm
my
part of
gosh.
it, but there's a season 2.
But we're all hoping
Yeah.
that you are.
Yes.
There will be a letter writing campaign if you're not. Everybody have their pens?
Dear Cartoon Network.
Please bring back Marceline. Thank you. Great question.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
We have about 7 minutes left, so we're going to try and get through as many as possible. But if we don't get to your question, they will be at their booths for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please
so-
come and ask the question if
Yeah.
you didn't get a chance to.
Yes. Go right ahead.
So my name is Bug. My question is, Dana Schneider actually brought up a really good thing. So he worked for Disney, and he said that Disney gives out really weird Christmas gifts, and I wanted to know what your weirdest Christmas gift from Disney was.
I love all the Christmas gifts that Disney gives us, and I want to keep getting them. So,
I mean,
So you're not going to hate on any of them.
no.
Well, it wasn't
Weird in a
hate,
good
it's
way.
just
No, I-
strange.
Fun.
I think last year's was kind of odd, but like I love it and I use it.
Is it
Oh, the alarm clock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The alarm clock.
There's this
I-
thing
That's
called a
the one that he was
hatch.
talking about. He was
I
like, this is
live
stupid. Why
by
do we
my
do this?"
hatch. It's changed my sleep schedule for the better, for the greater good.
Is that the alarm clock?
Yeah.
So
It, like,
it's
wakes
like
you up with, like,
a
a light.
lamp, and it gives you your own personal
fun.
sunrise.
Oh, I like
Yeah,
that.
so it wakes
And,
you up
like,
like
soft
naturally.
Like a
music.
caveman.
Yeah.
But it's really funny the scale and spectrum of that the gifts are
Yeah.
on. Like one year was like, you get a free year of Disney Plus. We're like, heck yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And then one year it was like a Christmas ornament.
Well, the only one that I was like, what? Was they gave me a Fitbit one year, and I was like, what does that mean?
Hey, take a walk.
Yeah.
Thanks
I
a
was like,
lot.
I was like, now what are you trying to tell me, Mickey Mouse?
I also work at Disney,
getting
and I will
fat.
be requesting a hatch.
Yeah.
I'll be like, where's my
There you go.
hatch?
They're really good.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get one.
It actually
I
wakes me up a
love
little
my
too early
hatch.
though. Like I start
You
waking
can
up.
change that, you know.
No, but I start waking up like the moment it starts. I'm just like I'm up. Like the
And
the
you
light.
can program it to have like morning mantras. So I'm like greeted with like the birds chirping, and then it's like, good morning.
I didn't know
You're
about this.
gonna
I didn't know about
You're
that.
gonna wake up and seize the day.
What?
Take a deep breath in of
And it launches into the
gratitude.
Newsy soundtrack.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really good question.
Warner gave me a hammock one year.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've got this like portable hammock
I
thing.
got
that
it too. Yeah.
That's crazy. They didn't give me anything.
Hi.
Hi there. What's your name?
My question is, what's your favorite background character?
Peter the Panda.
Ooh. Famously, the voice of Peter.
I'm the voice of Peter the Panda. Not
Yeah.
many people know that.
I know that.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Everybody's like, he doesn't talk.
You can't prove that I don't play him.
Oh gosh, I don't know if they even really qualify as background characters, but those bugs, like J.K. Simmons and Josh Gad, and I can't remember. Was it Dee doing the other one? But the three bugs that seemed so random, such a random late game inclusion. They tickle me.
My favorite, it's like, it's so sad to call him a background character, but he really is, and it's Irving. Like, why is he just not part of
Erland?
the game?
Erland? Erland or whatever. Yeah.
Like, why is he just not? Oh, like, he breaks my heart. So for this next season, we were like, we need justice for Irving.
He gets some.
Yeah.
He gets some.
He's so sweet. He's like Phineas and Ferb's #1 fan, and they just
Yeah.
won't be friends with it. It's so messed up.
Listen, if you could smell him, you'd get it.
I love Irving so much.
Thank you so much. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Emily. So I'm kind of out of the loop. I actually just found out here that there's going to be more Phineas and Ferb, so
Let's go.
excited about that. I actually just finished animating on another Disney show, so
Oh, cool.
hopefully I can hop over to this one. But I was wondering, what is your guys' just best summer adventure?
Not safe for work.
Well, summer break was such a long time ago for me.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of road trips with my family, like up the entire East Coast to go to like upstate New York, which is where I was born. And so we'd go from like Florida to New York to Florida. So, and we would stop at really random like road trip places where we'd be like, we have to see this house from the 1760s. Like, we have to go. And we would go, and it would be a house, and it would be so cool because it was like a house. Yeah.
You've been to a house?
Yeah, like a house from like the 1760s. So.
Wow. I would say coming up, I remember just like theme park trips to Orlando. That was always cool. Like, I've got some great pictures at Nickelodeon. Used to be on the lot at Universal, and we were able to see tapings of things.
What did you see?
Figure It Out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The secret slime word is David.
Uh-oh. I always talk about myself
Yeah.
in the third person. Excuse me. David always talks
Yeah.
about himself. But definitely the theme park trips.
Hopefully this summer you get your backyard beach.
I hope.
We probably have time for just one more question. What's your name?
My name is Leslie.
Hi, Leslie. What's your question?
So, out of all the characters on the show, which one can you relate to personally?
Well, I am Vanessa, so like, yeah.
I think I might be a little bit of a Lawrence. Because I walk around a little bit oblivious sometimes, but generally positive.
Yeah, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, unfortunately.
Because of his backstories.
Because of my tragic backstory.
Yeah. And his affinity for lawn gnomes.
True.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you both all for joining us today.
Yeah,
too.
thanks so much.
We can't wait for the release of the new season. No spoilers, nothing,
yeah.
but we will be watching. And we can find y'all at the booth for the rest
Yeah,
of the day.
we'll be there the rest of today.
Okay,
Come
awesome.
on. Yeah, say hello to us.
Please come see them. One more round of applause, everyone.
Thanks, guys.